So much has been made about conference schedules, non-conference schedules from the Big Ten, the ACC, SEC, Big 12. Everybody's talking about schedules. Let's talk about the future non-conference schedules for the Oklahoma Sooners and who might be some potential options with some open dates on the calendar coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. So, Jay, non-conference schedules are the hot topic of media days as the Big Ten and ACC are going right now, which will wrap up the Power 4 media days as we get ready for fall camp for the Oklahoma Sooners. It starts on July 30. So we're close, man. We're less than a week out from fall camp, which is crazy that we're finally here.
We are right there. We're coming to the finish line, guys, and fall camp starts next week. It's football time in America.
That's right.
We there.
So with no clarity really on whether the SEC will move to a 9-game conference schedule in 2026, the Oklahoma Sooners right now are sitting with just 3 conference opponents in 2026 and 2027 and 2028. In 2026, they'll play UTEP at Michigan and then home against New Mexico. 2027, they get Pac-12's Utah State, the ACC's SMU, and the Pac-12 San Diego State. And then in 2028, Temple at Houston, which, okay, I'm not going to sleep on that Houston game because they just signed they've got a commitment from a 5-star quarterback that could be starting that game. And then Oklahoma will play Colorado State. So as you look at that, Jay, and we're looking at potential non-conference opponents for Oklahoma, if the SEC stays at just 8 games, which I think is a legitimate possibility, Papa Sankey isn't going to be budged off of his stance that the SEC strength of schedule is greater than the other Power 4 conferences. So he's not going to be swayed to move to 9 games just because everybody else thinks that they should. So with that said, who do you think might be a good option for Oklahoma in the coming years?
So 26th, I expect Oklahoma to get someone cupcake-ish, probably like a lower tier P4 team.
FCS, maybe.
Nah, I don't think they go FCS this time around. We've already got New Mexico. We got UTEP. They may do something again with probably not Kent State, but something close. Maybe Colorado State, something like that. We got Colorado State in 2028, so we may actually add a second one to the schedule if they have something available in 26. But if you really think about it, with Michigan and you're traveling to Michigan, you ain't trying to do nothing that crazy around. Now it'd be nice if Indiana would, they have an opening. Why don't Indiana play against us? That would actually be a very interesting game. Do a home and home with Indiana in 26 and 28.
They don't want
to me, that touches everything that the Big Ten has said that they wanted. They don't want the smoke. They're not ready for that. But to me, that's the one you go for. You go for something of that nature. But Oklahoma's going to play something smaller, mainly because the Michigan game is on there, and that gives them 9 big-time games. And we know the Big Ten ain't got no big road ones. But if there's one I want, John, I want Nebraska at night. Figure it out.
Yeah, Nebraska would be a great one to have because it's Nebraska. It's Big 8 rival, Big 12 rival, a matchup that goes back a long, long time. If that one doesn't happen, and we talked about this a little bit before, Notre Dame has an open date next year. I know it would be a weird time to have it, like in the middle of October or November, but how much would that move the needle in broadcast circles, amongst the networks, amongst the fan base, to have the play like a championship or play like a champion today? Sorry, I got it wrong. My apologies. Play like a champion today sign up for grabs. I mean, that one would be a lot of fun. I don't know if Oklahoma would go there in 26 or 27, but it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that would be one that we would thoroughly enjoy. But we ain't going to probably get nothing like that. I don't even think Notre Dame wants to smoke. They know that they can control their destiny. So why would they put themselves in line? But let's get some ACC action. Heck, pick up the phone. Let's call up. We talked about this. I think Florida State would be one that would be intriguing to do again. We did that in the early 2000s after we beat them in the national championship. That was a fun one. People liked making that travel. They ain't got anything open because they're playing Alabama, but that would be one to something of that nature. We got Clemson coming in 35-36, but move that game up. Let's go ahead and contract that for. I think Clemson actually potentially has an open in 27. Let's move that up. Get Brent Venables versus Dabo Swinney early. Want something like that. I need to make sure that Brent Venables still got a job though. What about Wake Forest? Wake Forest should have an opening. There's a few different games you can do, but you're probably going to end up doing a lower tier P4 and use that as a warm-up game with the Michigan game sometime later in September. I'm here for it because we already know the SEC's not going to 9 games. Papa Sankey basically said that. Paul is like, nah, y'all not going to bully us. We good. Our schedule's tough enough. What are you going to how are you going to show us if your schedules can live up to ours? They can't. So, since that's the case, I don't anticipate us moving over into that or having to, because I don't even think that they're going to even expand the playoffs where it would make sense to do it. Plus, ESPN ain't trying to pay for it.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that the coaches don't really want a 9th conference game. Administrators don't really want a 9th conference game. And so the SEC is not going to go to a 9th conference game. I know everybody's wondering. They're itching. What do we think about a Bedlam rematch or Bedlam resurgence? Bring it back. Reunite the Oklahoma State fan bases on the field. Well, the earliest that could happen without somebody having to be bought out or rescheduled would be 2029. Oklahoma State just has 2 non-conference opponents that year. Oklahoma's got open dates. That's not going to be an issue. Jay, what would you think about bringing Bedlam back starting annually in 2029?
I'm good. I'm good. I don't even think they deserve it. Like it doesn't feel like it's even worth our time at this point. It should be happening now. And it's not that hard to buy out Murray State. UT Martin. Not hard at all. But no, that's not of interest. So to me, this probably going to come back in 2029. But to me, I'm just like, I'm good. I know y'all want it. A lot of fans want it. But John, I'm good.
Part of me wonders if it would take Mike Gundy retiring for Bedlam to get back on the schedule. Because he said a lot of things about how he may not be interested in playing Bedlam anymore. We know Chad Weiberg and former president Casey Schrum lashed out at Oklahoma for leaving for the SEC. They may not want to do Bedlam anymore. I'm still for Bedlam. I think it would be great. I believe in-state rivalry should exist. And I know you're going to sit there and say Oklahoma State's not a rival. Okay, fine. Texas and Texas A&M aren't rivals then. Okay, if that's the same logic we're using, because Texas has dominated A&M for the better part of their history. It's one of those matchups that moves the needle in the state. It moves the needle between the fan bases. It moves the needle.
Really, though?
It does. It does, Jay. It does.
I don't feel it. I don't think it does, in my opinion. It just...
How pissed was everybody when we lost to Oklahoma State?
I mean, Oklahoma fans are supposed to be pissed. Oklahoma State fans aren't pissed when they lose. That's the thing about it. They just like...
No, they are. They're tired of being little brother.
But they'll never not be little brother. Like, they've got 80-something games to be able to even catch up, get close enough to it.
My theory here, Jay, is that the wind went out of Oklahoma State football sails when Oklahoma fell off the schedule.
That means that we have to rescue them. Do we want to rescue little brother every year? No.
I don't mind doing a little charity here, Jay.
I do. Charity should be deserved to people that deserve and need charity. They had the T-Boone money and they fumbled the bag. That ain't our problem. That ain't our problem.
Good point.
We need to stop giving out. If there's an outreach I want to do, give me Tulsa. Let's take care of them people. Let's take care of the Golden Canes. Because they hired Kevin Wilson, they fired him, but they gave him a chance. Give me the Canes. We take care of them. I have no problem taking care of them. State,
Maybe my history with Oklahoma State doesn't go back far enough that I'm annoyed by them.
Yeah, goes back far enough for me. I hate their guts.
That's fine. Fair enough. Jay wins this round. If this was around the horn, I'd give him all the points on this one. He'd be going to the last word or final word. Was it?
Yeah.
What was it called? Final word? Last word?
Yeah, FaceTime.
Yeah. So Jay, here's your 30 seconds, unprompted, unscripted. Let them have it.
Look, Oklahoma State don't deserve an opportunity to play against Oklahoma right now because they had the opportunity to do it in 2025 and they fumbled the bag. I hope they lose more money because they should have done what they're supposed to do and they could have made it happen. Besides that, guys, let's go ahead and look at somebody more fun for the non-con. Let's get us a lower end Power 4 so we have somewhere to travel, so it's somewhere cool and neat. I wouldn't mind going to Wake Forest. Let's hit up North Carolina. Shoot. Let's go to Boston College. I don't care. Anywhere except for Oklahoma State. Let's do it.
Oklahoma's going to go to San Diego State here in a few years.
Oh, can't wait.
That's going to be beautiful in September. How great will that be? You know that OU alumni are going to be pumped for that road trip. Anyway.
Hardcore.
And that's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Sooners. Thanks so much for tuning in, being a part of the show. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're free and available on every podcast platform and on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to let you know when new episodes drop. Follow Jay at Unfair Sports. Go check out his channel, Unfair Sports, over on YouTube, covering college football and more Oklahoma Sooners content over there. You can follow me at John9Williams and read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all of your favorite social media platforms: Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Pinterest, wherever you like to do your social media stuff, we are there. But until next time, he's Jay Smith. I'm John Williams. We'll talk to you then. Boomer.
Sooner. No, and I don't apologize, Poke fans. I don't. Yo, coach rule.